This week, progress in Iraq.
We are cautiously optimistic the direction that we're heading.
Violence is down in Iraq, but are we actually winning the war there?
If the surge in Iraq is working, where's the political reconciliation?
What you're seeing in Iraq right now is a glimmer of hope of some sort, at least on a tactical level.
Iraqi civilian casualties are down 60% since the troop surge reached full strength in June. 75% in Baghdad.
As far as U.S. military troop casualties, deaths, back in June it was over 100. In October it went down to 38. In November so far 31.
Doesn't that show, at least on the military side, that the president's policy is working?
Violence has been ebb and flows, George. I believe that no American death is worthy of saying body counts have gone down.
It shows an improvement on the military side, but the president's policy very specifically had as its purpose, the surge's purpose was to give the Iraqi political leaders the breathing space to work out a political settlement, and that purpose has not been achieved. They're just as far apart as ever.
There is a danger that there is a perception that the Democrats are, in Joe Lieberman's phrase, heavily invested in a narrative of defeat in Iraq, that they must deny good news. You can't say yet that we've won the war, but you surely cannot say the surge isn't working. And to persist in saying the surge isn't working, or that the metrics of success are irrelevant, is to validate the criticism of Joe Lieberman, that there is a narrative of defeat that they cannot get away from.
The aspect of political solutions in Iraq and reconciliation is still far away. We haven't achieved this. We are not even closer to achieving this than we were a few months ago.
And we're halfway through this period that the General Petraeus has to come back in March and give a report, and it looks like we're not going to have a lot of what needs to happen.
It's working amazingly well, beyond my expectations. I think history will judge the surge as probably the most successful counterinsurgency military operation in history.
The success is significant, and anybody who thinks that it isn't does not know the facts on the ground.
What you're seeing in Iraq today, for example, you've got more than 2 million Iraqis who are in exile. You've got an equal number who are displaced within the country. Yes, there are, by some counts, 1,000 a day coming back, but they're often not coming back to their original homes, their neighborhoods. You're seeing a kind of ethnic cleansing that is also responsible for the quiescence, relative quiescence in some neighborhoods.
Hats off to General Petraeus and all under his command. You're making military history and a phenomenal success.
The truth is, though, do we believe that they've stopped hating each other, that the partisan bickering, the partisan hatred that, in fact, is the salient feature of the landscape in Iraq has gone away?
There's no Thomas Jeffersons in Iraq. Saddam Hussein killed them all. And it's hard and it's tough, but the more secure environment you have, the more political progress you're going to see.
It's hard to have democracy when people are getting killed in droves, and the better security is going to produce better political results. I think we will have political dividends at the national level in Baghdad soon.
I believe very strongly that we are still further away from reconciliation, Wolf.
I am guardedly optimistic you will see the kind of progress that's necessary. I'm guardedly optimistic that they will pass a reverse de-Baathification law.
I predict and hope very much.
I believe that we can see elections.
I expect that to happen.
Hopefully.
By January of 2008, the de-Baathification law, which will allow Sunnis to come back into the government and have jobs to be a full partner in Iraq, will be passed. I was told that by Maliki.
There's a story on the front page of the New York Times today that says that the Bush administration is lowering expectations for the Maliki government meeting any of these benchmarks.
I think we're on track at the national level. Local reconciliation is very, very robust at the local level. I think it will migrate to the national level.
The so-called awakening, as-Sahwa, in the various provinces and various parts of Iraq is not part and parcel of the government.
What you're suggesting is that the progress in the Al-Anbar and some of the other provinces is not because of the Iraqi government's policies, but despite the Iraqi government's policies. Is that right?
Indeed.
I'm proud of our American men and women who are serving. And I'll tell you what they're telling me. They're saying, let us win. And I think we ought to let them win.
Those same soldiers who've been interviewed by our reporters say, we've also done all we can do militarily.
Well, they are saying that they are achieving and continue to achieve a secure environment along with the Iraqi military who are performing rather well.
The Iraqi forces are not ready yet to take the full responsibility. I think especially the police forces are still definitely not ready yet.
It's hard to imagine that the Iraqi army, the Iraqi security forces would be able to do it without a substantial American presence.
Let me ask, why in the name of heaven are we not willing to at least establish a goal for the removal of most of our troops, which is not binding?
Why in the name of heaven would we undercut the most successful military operation in counterinsurgency in American history, maybe world history?
No occupying power has ever successfully occupied Iraq for a long period of time, and we are basically planning an empire in that part of the world. It is the most reckless option to keep all your troops in one place just to keep it from blowing up indefinitely.